Hi YouTube, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. I'm actually having a pretty good day. Um, we roasted last night. We both woke up at the same time, or maybe he woke me up. I'm not sure, but I got up and he's like freaking hotter than heck in here 'cause he had put two pretty good sized chunks of oak in there, thinking that it was going to be colder outside than what it was. We both ended up having to open our windows. So sometimes when I get roasting like that, I don't recover, but I caught it soon enough, maybe because like I say, maybe when he got up, but we're both out there getting a drink of water in the middle of the night. So yeah, I'm lucky it wasn't worse than what it is. So yeah, could be because I've had heat stroke and all kinds of life-threatening predicaments. So I am listening right now to sound bites, the best sound bites of Stephen James Deshawn by Robin's Hood. My favorite one in Stephen SJD is said to be the head Luciferian gang stalker in the United States. Whatever. But anyway, my favorite one, well, he like rebukes Robin and says his middle name, um, like it's a figure of authority. And then he goes, another one is, "You're an alien, a gray freaking alien," he screams at him, "and you don't even belong on our planet." And I'm thinking, whoa, dude, you are just like so overstepping. You have no clue. But it's just some funny shit on that level. So just the history between these two people, because really because of all the hidden knowledge that people have but they won't admit. So it's like, yeah. And two, a lot of times men are going to get along where they're not going to get along with me, although for money's sake, and depending on who the person is, I'm not accusing, like Robin, for instance, I'm not accusing what he does just for the sake of money. But what people will do for money, like, for instance, I'm going to tell it like it is. The Jonathan Kleck channel, he hates women. Of course, he's going to get along with the dude. Like I say, unless you're opposing him. If you're not opposing him, you're not going to notice it. Well, he already knows, you know, but some people don't, you know. Anyway. And if you get along with him, maybe you're one of these newfangled feminist movement women that wants to put aside your femininity and what it actually means to be a woman, and you can't define that. He'd probably get along with you. That type of person. That's my opinion. My opinion. Doesn't mean I don't care about him. I made a video appealing to his better sense, but some years back. So anyway, let's see what else. Anything else on that? I don't know. I might get back to that. I'm in the middle of it right now, listening to that. Um, it's funny, you know. So, anyways, if somebody were like the vicar of Lucifer, um, being the same as the vicar of Satan, depending on what you believe. I don't know. I believe personally, like the Spirit of God and the Spirit of Christ are the same, just like there's a Trinity and the dark force of all that, also. Only there isn't one individual, like a son of God, like in the Christian uh, pro-trans, but the conglomeration of what they call one love, it's basically do anything you want to do and we're going to love you anyway. At least we're going to say we do, for all the sake of all appearances, you know. So anyway, cheers everybody. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Now that I have the name right of my Russian friend, she's also a doctor, Irina. Happy belated birthday, Irina. I won't forget your name now. I know now I had heard it before. That's not too difficult to remember. So, anyway, a medical doctor. The one that they um legitimately call a science. Not the one of the mind that people can't prove, but the one, which is a pseudoscience. But actual biological medical doctor isn't a pseudo science, it's an actual science and a study of the human biology. So, yeah, that's what she does. Hi, everybody over there. I heard you're freezing. It's cold and snowy. We had rain today, which is pretty nice for this time of year. Actually, I really enjoyed it. It was a rather gloomy day, but just kind of a steady rain, not too hard. Sounded pretty, you know. Oh, speaking of pretty, there was this pretty lady named Monique over on Sam Bachman's channel doing an interview with him on narcissism. And oh, I don't know. I'm sure she's probably came across narcissists before, but some people just can't get it. They don't get it. How there can be such emptiness and coldness in a human being, because when you're not that way, you actually cannot figure that. Some of us figure it out, especially when you're raised by them. I mean, who cares about you and who doesn't. Like when you're a little kid, if you can overcome that, and then you look at the rest of the people doing stuff like that, and it's like, well, you're just one more of them. Nothing too special. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. Yeah. Doesn't take much to be cold hearted. No. Takes a whole lot more to express ourselves as human beings for other human beings than it does to put up our walls to soak our, what are you guarding against? You could even pretend to be nice. It might rub off, you know. You never know. You don't know unless you try, you know. What gives you the right to laugh if you're a narcissist and just shut up? We don't want to hear you laugh. Then even your laughter is fake, right? Or do you actually laugh when you get your way like a big child? I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm not asking for a friend. I'm asking for myself. Don't worry. I already know. I just want to hear your answer. Answer me. So anyway, intriguing, isn't it? Somebody that actually sees and can explain that, back to you, at you, towards you, that type of thing. So, yeah. But anyway, this poor Monique, just look on her face a few times when she'd get some answers to some of the questions that, poor, poor thing. But then, of course, you never know a person. She could be a narcissist too. and just pretending, you know? So, none of these people out here, as far as I'm concerned, I haven't met anybody that's going to stake their soul on anything that they're speaking about. Now, like Professor Bachman, he thinks that if you have like a religion or a faith, that you are mentally unstable because of that. Well, just a minute. Let me see how I'm gonna word this. I don't ever take advice from the Nephilim. So, you can play whatever game you want to for the dark force, but it's never going to stop the people that have God in their heart and know that we communicate with each other in that respect. Because here's something that I can do. Look what I can do. And you can't. I can wish for something to be out here on the internet. I mean, specifically. And somebody with God in their heart is going to hear that voice and put that information out there for me. That's something you don't get because you just don't get it. That's the faith in God. It's not a fairy tale figure of some magical being. It's the actual existence of whichever force we choose to serve on this planet. And if you're self-serving, well, either way, um, we get what we give. I'm gonna read you something I wrote on my in my community. I think just a minute here, or I'm gonna try. I gotta get over there first. 'Cause so true. See, last year they changed the definition of defining a woman in the Oxford Dictionary, and it's very much like them making textbooks of genders with more than 3 genders in it and putting that in the school for the children. I mean, these are things and issues that need to be um, made people aware of it. It's like if you're just, even if you're in another country, like our Russian friends learning English, and you go to the Oxford Dictionary and you've seen that the definition has been changed, we need to be made aware of what types of changes are being made in these books and texts and what is pointed at the children to keep the children safe. So this morning I had pretty much a full-on onslaught of the I'm I'm not involved in the conversation of what shape the earth is deep enough for some people's satisfaction. So just a minute. Okay, this isn't so nice. So if you get offended or you think that I'm just attacking men or women or whoever, no, it has nothing to do with that. I am directly talking to the people that don't give up about the kids. So plug your ears, and if you got kids in the room, that's not real vulgar, but I make my point. Might want to see what dictionary is being used to teach your children. Oxford seems to think that they can make a man's vagina bleed and carry a baby just because they changed the terminology of what defines a woman. No big deal. Okay, dudes, men, your turn is next. Enjoy being relative to a pussy. You are no longer protectors, and the mix of genders is in full swing. Lame mofos, any of you being silent on this. So that's how I feel about that. So I'm gonna pop over to Facebook too. There was a couple of really good posts over there. This one, for instance, if being hurt by a church causes you to lose faith in God, then your faith was in people, not God. It's true. And I like this one. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. It's called being a gentleman or a gentlewoman or being conscious or being a decent human being. Um, Always hold the door for the person right behind you. Not because she's a lady, not because you are a gentleman. Um, it's because you're not a giant dick face and it's polite. Um, Ask me how I know. Fun fact: a pack of feral hogs can eat a PEDOPHILE in less than 10 minutes. Ooh, somebody wrote on there. Probably why we should not eat pigs. Swine demons rather than want to eat with shrines. Yeah, I spelt it funny. Well, it could be Danish, but it's funny regardless. Socrates said, worthless people live only to eat and drink. People of worth eat and drink only to live. And then another person had written on one of my Socrates ones, might have been that one, in a group, and said that they're pretty much that they're like the global elitist, and oh, I have no doubt, no doubt. Doesn't make what he's saying untrue. I mean, he's dead now, but when he did say. Then I got a picture of Grandma sitting in a chair with a deer on the wall screaming, and she said, "Run me over, will you?" And she's kind of beat up, got a broken neck, and it says Daily Times. Grandma gets run over by a reindeer. She took care of him. Calm her chaos, but never silence her storm. Then there's let's see, there was Rudolph and his little girlfriend. I don't remember her name right now. Got Hannibal Lecter behind her. Hello, Clarice. That's terrible. She's not high maintenance. You're just low effort. That could be true in some extremes, but some people put themselves a little higher than what they actually even deserve because they don't give that amount back. Then I wrote this about myself. Well, I didn't write it. Somebody named J.M. Storm did. She is beautiful, but you really cannot comprehend it until you understand that she is the result of the pieces that she refused to let life take from her. And that, my friend, is the difference between a narcissist and a normal human being. Now, you can say that narcissism isn't something that you can help doing, but I beg to differ because the manuals that teach people of narcissism say that it comes from trauma, extreme trauma, and people do um, handle their trauma in different ways. Now, if you have the poor me attitude, you're going to handle it like a narcissist. If you have the I love people type of attitude and you don't want to be a rude ass human being, then you're going to probably have the grace of God within you and not give what anybody says about that. Like I would, um, uh, well, you can put it in any kind of book that you want that I'm mentally handicapped because I have faith in God. But my faith in God has helped me walk when my spinal cord was pulled beyond repair, and helped me talk and walk again when I had a stroke. So you can mock what my faith is, and perhaps that has a lot to do with my own self-drive. I'll grant you that part, because you probably healed parts inside yourself. I'm just talking about the extra help that I get, that people that are godless, and what they refer to, look up the word worthless, because you can't ascend. Not on your vibration. Does that matter to you? I mean, okay, so you may not be, um, your spirit may not be going anywhere, because you may not want it to, because this fleshly existence of rot and death is more to your liking. But I'm not one of them, and I know there's more. I can't prove that I've experienced walking this planet more than once, and my face is plastered all over the place. I can't prove any of it. But if you do see these statues and pictures through the times, you'll know. If you don't know, or you do know, and you're just in with me, either way, you know I'm not your average bear, that there's a little more, a deeper spark of intelligence than most people. Most, not all, most people carry. And a lot of the ones that try to come against me are directed by Satan. And I won't say he's as dumb as a rock, because even a rock has bacterial life forms in it. So there's some sense of an underlying intelligence in there, but it's not yours. So anyway, how about this? I would like you to join the good guys, but if you're not going to do that, I will insult you until you puke. How's that? And I won't regret one word of it. So, because I'm far from delusional. Get that straight. You better get that straight. Sure, I can't beat it into your head. Would I want to? Maybe. Yeah, I know. You're skilled at combat, and most people aren't. I am not most people. Would I fight if I had God in my heart? Well, of course I would. Not to the death, but I would expect that the person that I would combat wouldn't feel that honorable. I've always felt like that. That's kept me alive. Kind of like, but not as extreme. Doug was talking about how somebody had got pushed off the road in their brand new truck, and then the guy wanted to fight him, so the guy whose truck got scratched um, beat him in his head about 4 times, and Doug's like, at least he didn't kick him. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, like that's something to be on, something to be, like to write home about or whatever, Jerry. But he didn't kick him in the head. He said, but because if you call the cops, they're not going to do anything. And I said, but it's a brand new truck. So I assume with that expensive of a truck, he most likely had insurance. So he really did not have to do what he did. And he said, well, people are getting sick of this. Well, I've been a victim of road rage before. And now that's delusional. That's retarded. And I wonder what God they're listening to inside there. Or do no, you're not delusional because you think you are self-admitting and self-made, and you generate your own energy. So you you quite frankly couldn't be delusional, just handicapped in one area. But calling me handicapped for having a strength and a faith that you don't possess, that gives me extra abilities that you don't possess. Oh, you can call me all the names in the world. It isn't going to make it true, is it? And why? You're going to tell me that half the population on this planet that believe in God are delusional? Or is it that half the population is satanic and the other half isn't? That seems more logical, doesn't it? That's just my outlook on it. I'm gonna check a couple more memes. Mm, yes, we should stop using the euphemism the government and just say Worldwide Church of Satan. And then there's a little Mickey, only he's like skull and bones, and nothing is magical and everything dies. I think that's funny. It's from books. They look like the golden books from when we were kids, called Your Childhood Ruined. So, and then it shows after the three wise men left, the three wiser women arrived. You know what they brought, like frankincense and myrrh and whatever, and the wise women came with fresh diapers, casseroles for the weak, and wine. So, I wrote on top of this, sure, let's ignore all the evil and celebrate the shape of the planet. Sounds like a plan, bozos. The necessary condition for the events that immediately precede the return of God incarnate, Jesus Christ, have converged. Those events will take place in the tribulation, a time of worldwide distress beginning with a 7-year global peace agreement. For some legitimate Bible or biblical indicators, we are indeed rapidly approaching the end of an age. Huh. Somebody wrote, I'm back, baby. Gotta love being banned for 3 days for posting the truth. Truth, others post and don't get banned. That's not quite true, but it depends. Like, uh, I haven't really been banned on Facebook's only bugged me a little bit. They don't really care. That's really not where the war is. Somebody wrote, you got to learn who in your corner versus who in your business. That's true. Oh yeah, this is true. You cannot wish for both a stoic character and an easy life. The price of each is the other, pretty much. This is funny. Y'all burning sage with the windows closed. Demons are just running around in your house in a circle. That's funny. Yes. Gas don't be gassing like it used to. $20 barely do anything right now. LOL. That's about it. You okay with being a fat slob, but soon the lust of your flesh will be over. Yes. This is my trusty friend that, um, like most of us hate liars and cheaters. Oh, that brings me back to narcissism. I mean, narcissism is just a ticket to treat people like shit. If you learn to put yourself in a cage before God has to do it for you, it'll be a lot easier. Honestly, it's called self control and refrain. That's what we do when I feel like smacking somebody in the head or taking body slamming their ass. I don't do it because I control myself. That's the God in my heart. And that undelusional part of me that is guided by a spirit that talks inside me, not the regressed narcissism, self-loathing voice that you hear. It's something entirely different that keeps people like you safe from people like me because I will not go down to your level. That's why. But that's why I don't. Otherwise, I'd be just like you, wouldn't I? That's what I'm talking about. Let's see. One thing I gotta actually say. Oh, first I'll read this. In the 1940s, black jazz musicians started calling each other man because they were usually called boy by everyone else. That's when it came, like you've even heard Biden say, "Come on, man." That's that era. A little bit older than me. Well, somewhat. Oh, how pretty. A tree of orange and black birds. They've got an orange, not like a robin, but like oh no, it's pretty though. I was going to share it, but I've shared quite a bit today. This is true. To love someone is to learn the song in their heart and sing it to them when they have forgotten it. Well, what if their song is something like the devil went down to Georgia and he was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind and way behind, looking to make a deal, or you know what I'm saying. I like that part though when the kid goes, "My name is Johnny and it might be a sin, but I'll take your bet you're gonna regret because I'm the best that's ever been." Best part of the whole song. Or how about if your song's like another one bites the dust? Or, sometimes you probably don't want to sing that inner song at somebody. What's your inner song? I am, I said. The ancient city of Jericho, currently in Palestine, is the world's oldest walked city, with evidence of stone fortifications dating back nearly 9,000 years. Archaeologists, archaeolo, archae, archaeological digs have turned up traces of habitation and are even older, up to 11,000 years ago. This is true. Some people will never learn, even learning and never able to come to the knowledge of truth. Um, None of this makes any sense to me. It shows a skeleton sitting in front of a book. The natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him, neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. And that, my friend, pretty much describes why somebody that is godless would say nasty things to people that do have God in their heart, because they do not have that connection with God or other God loving human beings. So they don't know that feeling. So, of course, you're going to call names because you're not of God. Do I care? No. Do what the fuck you want to do, but you better be careful calling me names. It's not a damn joke. If you don't want people calling you names, you better be careful what you say about other people then, because you don't know me inside me. You only know you. Uh, Two soldiers. That guy thinks men should not buy children. That's true. Can't worry about hurting people's feelings when it comes to truth in the body of Christ. Feelings need to get in line with the Word of God. Feelings will lead them to destruction. We walk by faith, not feelings. And my faith have produced miracles for me. My faith has helped me do extraordinary feats that I haven't ever seen another woman do. Just, not that it's impossible, but it, it, things out of the norm that I didn't think was possible for me to be able to do, and my faith did give me strength. Whoever oppresses the poor shows contempt for their Maker, but whoever is kind to the needy honors God. Proverbs 14:31. And that 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 meme I shared, as far as the church hurting people, it is the hypocrisy in the churches, temples, synagogues, this type of thing, that totally turns little people off when they're small. You have to have a incredible amount of faith on your own to be able to rise above that. When you see adults acting um, on their free will, and as a child you know the commands of God, and you look at them then lesser than you when you're a tiny child, that's not just the faith of God, that's actually knowing, it's having a goodness within you. So that can't be taken out of you. So if that isn't there or present in you, that's not who you are. Don't put other people down. That's going to be your biggest mistake right there, is pushing something like telling me that I'm delusional will be your biggest mistake. You can pull that shit on somebody else, but you're not going to do it to me and get away with it. So I'm asking you to back your ass down and join the good guys. You don't want to do that? You don't have to have faith in God. I'm not going to try and force you to be anybody you're not. But if I could force you to shut your mouth, I'd duct tape your head to the fucking wall right this second to shut you up on that note. Just so you know how I feel. Delusional. You're lucky. If you were a neighbor of mine, we'd have a major problem. If I heard you call me delusional, I would want to do something to you. I'm not kidding. I really would. I wouldn't just sit down and pray about it. You'd probably want to hit me. You might want to already. I don't really care. I don't have any fear on that point because I'm a fighter. I might enjoy it. You better be fucking careful what you're saying to people. It's not a joke. Not everybody that has faith in God is a pushover. You know? So, like, let me put it to you this way. If I can appeal to your better nature, I'm going to ask for ways for you to learn your lesson, no matter what. And you will see that happen. It will. So you can believe what you want, but when things start going downhill for you, you're going to know why. Because you pissed off the wrong person. You don't call me names and get away with it. Me and millions of other people. Now, how strong their faith is and the glory that they actually give to their creator for putting them here for the chance to be intelligent enough to have a conversation with our creator. That's my ultimate goal, is to be able to sit down and have an adult conversation with my creator. I think that's a worthy goal, because if I have that amount of strive within myself, I'll be blessed for it, and I know I will. If I'm smart now, I'll know, and I cherish that. I'll be smarter still in the next life, and that's eternity. So you might have a little piece of the puzzle right now, but don't you want the whole enchilada? I do. I want to be able to think of um, like even the microorganisms that help um, even carry the dark essence through our veins, all of it, or I should say on our skin or in our bodies. But all of it, I want to be able to have a direct understanding of even the electrical charges and the waste that goes into us as toxins from these parasites, everything, to be able to have a really large scope on what it means to study particle physics in the alchemy realm, all of it. You know, if you have that deep of an understanding, well, wouldn't you want to know all of that? Because none of us know everything, but to be able to actually know that, I know I will someday. And I got a pretty good start. Sure, we can talk quantum physics too. That's kind of a fallacy, something we can't prove. As a matter of fact, people that study physics quite often I find are pretty much Looney Tunes because they can't even back up what they're talking about with any kind of substantial conversation that's going to teach another person anything about science. It's like they're mumble jumbled charts from the Freemasons and the rest of the bullshit out on this planet, more as a ploy and a money making scheme. And a lot of psychiatrists and psychologists are like that too. It's nothing quite original. If you really think you can get a handle on my mind, I could start laughing, but I'm not in the mood. Well, maybe I am. I don't know yet. I might be on that one. I've been known to throw some wrenches in some gears that they thought were well oiled and working perfectly fine. Yes, I was taught to think before I act, so if I smack the crap out of you, rest assured I've thought about it and I'm confident in my decision. Well, I wouldn't smack the crap out of somebody, and if I thought that's not how I do things. Yeah, materialism is an identity crisis. That's for damn sure. John 11:26. I am the resurrection and the life. Anyone who believes in me will live even after dying. Well, inside yourself, you know you're either going to come back and be recycled like a um, dung heap, or you're going to ascend. Your soul knows what it's doing. Oh, now this is morbid. In 1871, a woman from Quebec, Canada, hired a hearse with the sole intention of riding around town smoking in the coffin bed while enjoying the view. And it's a horse and buggy type of. Oh, that's morbid. Whoa. Ish. Once you've read the dictionary, every other book you read is just a remix. That's beautiful. How funny. Yes, that's true. Especially the way, well, they're remixing it right before our eyes. They think they can remix what God made too. Everything's a remix. It's kind of like that perfect strawberry preserves I made a few days ago. Now, if I remixed it and it's perfect, what do I have? you know, Then he said to Jesus, Lord, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Tolstoy said, Leo Tolstoy said, where is there any book of law so clear to each man as written in his heart? And somebody wrote, the fact that Israel feels free to annihilate the Palestine people while the world watches should terrify all of us. Well, it doesn't terrify me, but it fucking repulses me. Just their attitude with people. Here's my friend that puts out what would you call them, like idioms or um one-liners. I've been called a rare commodity. Wonder if that makes me silver or gold. I guess I could be called either or. Wahahaha. That's funny. How about taconite? That's the what you get left when you refine ore. Never argue with stupid people. They will drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. Mark Twain. Yeah, I may not be able to beat a narcissist that tells me I'm delusional with facts from God, but I can beat you with the pure goodness of my heart that you know is in there. And I don't give what you say. That makes me more intelligent right away. Rumi said, maybe you are searching among the branches for what only appears in the roots. That's the root of it right there. That's why a lot of people do not understand any kind of faith because they haven't gone to the root of the situation for their own selves or anybody else. They got stunted somewhere along the line with all the lies of the history and the rituals and for like a people that still sacrifice to God so their souls can be cleansed, that type of retarded shit. I could see why a lot of people are turned off by um, anything that would be scriptorial after that. Being raised like that, I get it. 100%. I do, you know. It is the hypocrisy of the people around me when I was being raised almost turned me away from God, but it didn't work, and I'm grateful for that. But people that said they believed in God right now to this day, I think she's 91, gonna be 92. My adoptive mom has listed on her bio that she's a Christian. No, she's Eastern Star, and they have to list some type of religion. What's she gonna put? Satanist or Luciferian on public records? I don't think so. You might. how hard I pronounce the F and F no when somebody asks me if I'm. What's something you admire about the younger generation? Somebody laughed. I don't think that's funny at all. I admire a younger person that has the ability to be kind in this cold world. I mean, truly, and excel as an intelligent human being. I admire that because it just gets harder and harder out here to do you like that. So if you're doing that and you're younger than me, hey, I admire you 100% for that. That's a fact. I hate this generational bullshit and the race bullshit and all of it. Men, women, whatever type of conflicts that other people will try and put in our lives, like that person laughing at that. It's nothing funny. In fact, I gotta give it a thumbs up. And then there was a picture of Cher. We don't call her Cher anymore. We just call it Scare. Whoa. Holy dang. It's like Madonna. It's like you people. Madonna's my age, and this thing looks freaking scary. Plastic. It's like, wow. Dang, you can, even if I had the money, I would not touch a hair on my head. Why would I? Am I all that? Yeah, to me, I am. Hey, I think it's beautiful. You know, even my wrinkles, I love every bit of myself. If that makes me narcissistic, too bad. I appreciate what God gave me, you know. And I never used it in a wrong way either. That's something I can accredit to guidance from the Lord. So I'm going to have an interruption here. I can hear it right now. So I'm going to cut this off. I love you all and I appreciate you joining me. Have a really good night or day wherever you're at. Just a real quick note. Might want to think on what actually is delusional, because I don't believe in schizophrenia or narcissism. I believe in evil versus good, and I'm out here to prove it. So, peace and love, everybody, from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a good night or day and a beautiful weekend wherever you're at.